Right now I'm in the command terminal of the attacker machine Kali Linux. First of all, let's see the network configuration of this attacker machine. The command to do that is ifconfig. Here we can see the IP address, which is 10.0.2.15. We also can see the net mask and the broadcast as well. As we know, both of these machines are in the same subnet. Let's scan the whole subnet using a very powerful network scanning tool, nmap, to discover the IP address of the vulnerable machine. The command we will use is nmap -sn 10.0.2.0/24. Here sn implies for ping scan and 10.0.2.0/24 is the subnet. This command looks for all the active hosts in this subnet. Okay, we can see the list of hosts here. The first one, 10.0.2.1, is the gateway. 10.0.2.6 is the vulnerable machine. And 10.0.2.15 is the attacker machine, as we've already seen it here. Now we know the IP address of the vulnerable machine. Let's use nmap once again to find more details about this vulnerable machine. The command we'll be using is nmap -A 10.0.2.6. Here A stands for aggressive scan and 10.0.2.6 is the IP address of the vulnerable machine. This command looks for all the open ports and services, including the operating system of the vulnerable machine. Okay, the scanning is complete. We can see we've got 3 ports open: port 21, port 22 and port 80. Port 80 is for HTTP server. As this port is open, this means this vulnerable machine is hosting a website, and port 22 runs the SSH server. This allows remote command line login and remote command execution, which means we can log into this vulnerable machine from our attacker machine and manipulate it if we have the correct login credentials to this SSH server. And port 21 is for FTP server. This helps us to transfer file from one host to another. If we have the right credentials, once again, we will be able to transfer file from this vulnerable machine to our attacker machine. Now let's have a look here. There is a message and it says anonymous FTP login allowed. This means we can log into this FTP server of this vulnerable machine using the username and password anonymous. So let's do that. Let me open a new tab. Okay, now the command to connect to a FTP server is ftp and the IP address of that machine. In our case, it's 10.0.2.6. Okay, it's asking us for the username, which is anonymous. Password anonymous. Okay, we are logged in successfully. Now let's see if there are any files in this current directory. The command we will use is ls, and we have found a file here. It's an image file and the name of the file is trytofind.jpg. Now let's transfer this file to our attacker machine so that we can open it and see the content of that file. The command to do that is get trytofind.jpg. Okay, the file has been transferred. Now let me create a new tab and let's see the file. ls. Okay, the file is here in our attacker machine. Now let's open it. The command we will use to open this file is cat trytofind.jpg. Okay, we can see the content here, but it's not readable. This could mean that this file is a steganographic file and it has some hidden information inside it. So what we'll do is we will use a steganographic tool called steghide to extract the hidden information from this image file. So let's download that tool first. The command to install steghide is sudo apt-get install steghide. Okay, let's enter password here. Do you want to continue? Yes. And the tool has been installed. Now let's use it to extract the hidden information of that steganographic image. The command to do that is steghide extract -sf trytofind.jpg. Here extract implies extracting hidden data, and sf trytofind.jpg implies the steganographic file from which we will extract the hidden data. Now let me press enter to execute this command. Okay, it's asking us for the passphrase or password. This means the hidden information inside this image file is password protected, but we do not know the password, so let's cancel this step for now. If you remember, let's go to tab 1. We had port 80 open here. This means the vulnerable machine is hosting a website, so let's visit that website. We might find some vulnerabilities there. We can do that by going to a browser and by pressing the IP address of the vulnerable machine, 10.0.2.6. Okay, this is the website, but I don't see any useful information here. In this case, what we can do is we can right click and view the source code. Sometimes hidden informations are placed in source code as well, but here we don't see any. So let's go to command line and use our pen testing tool called derb to find the hidden directories and hidden files in this web server. The command to do that is derb http 10.0.2.6/. Okay, it's scanning right now and it's finished. We can see we've got a directory here. Now let's right click here and open the link. Okay, this is the directory that we found using derb, but I don't see once again any useful information here. So let's right click once again and view page source. And yes, we've got something here. If we look here at the bottom, it says the hint is the another secret directory is s3cr3t.t3xt. This is telling us that there is a secret directory and this is the name of the secret directory. So let's copy this and visit this directory. Okay, now let me replace these blocks with the secret directory. Okay, we are in this secret directory, but it says there's nothing in this page. So once again, not much useful information here. In this case, once again, right click, view page source, and here we've got information. It says secret key, and we've got the key here. This key could be the passphrase or password we can use to extract the hidden information from the steganographic image we tried to extract from before. So let's copy this and use it to extract the hidden information. So let's use the same old command once again, steghide extract -sf trytofind.jpg. Okay, now let's paste the passphrase here and hit enter. Okay, the information has been extracted and it's written in a new file called data.txt. So let's visit that txt file. The file is here. Now let's open it. Cat data.txt. Okay, we got a message here and it says, "Hello Renu, I'll tell you something important. Your password is too weak, so change your password. Don't underestimate it." From this message, I get two hints. The first one is Renu, which could be the username, and second hint is the password is too weak. This means we can use password cracking tool Hydra to crack this password with the help of this username. So let's use the password cracker tool Hydra to crack the password of this username Renu. The command to do that is hydra -l renu -p /user/say/wordlists /rockyou.txt ssh/10.0.2.6. Here L Renu specifies username to be used and P user say wordlist rockyou.txt specifies the password list, and SSH 10.0.2.6 is the target service and the IP address. Okay, the password has been cracked. This is the username Renu that we entered, and the password is 987654321. So let's use this username and password to log into this vulnerable machine with the help of SSH server, as SSH server port 22 is open. And the command to connect to SSH server is ssh username Renu @ IP address of the vulnerable machine 10.0.2.6. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. Now it's asking us for the password, which is 987654321. Okay, we are successfully logged in. We are inside vulnerable machine as user renu. Now let's clear the screen. Okay, and see if there are any files in this directory. ls. Okay, we got a file here, user1.txt. Let's open it to see it. Cat user1.txt, and it's a flag. We have successfully captured our first flag. Now our target is to get the root access. So let's see if this user renu has any root privileges. The command to check that is sudo -l. Okay, it's asking us for the password, which is 987654321. And it says, sorry, user renu may not run sudo as Moneybox. This means this user renu cannot run any commands as sudo user. Now we will have to find some other ways to gain the root access. So let's check some other directories if there are any files. Let's see home directory, cd home. Okay, we are in home directory. Now let's see, and we see two directories here, renu and lily. Renu is our current user's name, and we've got another directory, lily. So lily could be a name or username of another user in this vulnerable machine. So let's visit that directory, cd lily. Okay, let's see if there are any files in here. And yes, we've got user2.txt file, and I think this is our another flag. Let's open it. And yes, this is our second flag. Now let's see if there are any hidden files in this directory, ls la. And we've got some hidden directory, and we've got some hidden files as well. When I look at it, the one that interests me most is the .sss directory. So let's visit this directory, cd.sss. Okay, let's see if there's any file in here. And we've got authorized keys file. So let's open this file and see. There should be a public key to log into this vulnerable machine. Cat authorized keys. And yes, we got the key, but it looks a bit odd. If we look here at last, it says renu@debian. This means that we can log into this vulnerable machine as Lily without needing password if we are already logged in as Renu. So this means we will be able to log into this vulnerable machine once again as Lily without needing the password. So let's do that. We will use SSH server once again, SSH lily@10.0.2.6. Okay, we are logged in and we didn't need any password to do that. So let me clear my screen once again. Okay, now let's see if this user has any commands that it can run as a sudo user. And the command we will use to do that is sudo -l. And yes, we've got something here. If we look here, then we can use command perl as a sudo user, but unfortunately I do not know much about this. So what we'll do is we'll visit our website called GTFO bins. What this website has is a list of Unix binaries that can be used to bypass local security restrictions. So if there's perl in here, then we might have some commands that we can execute to get the root access. So let's search perl here, PERL, and yes, I can see perl here. Let's click it, and it's written it can be used to break out from restricted environments by spawning an interactive system cell, and this is what we are exactly trying to do. So let's copy this command and use it to gain the root access. Alright, but before that command, use sudo here because we are trying to gain the sudo access, and paste the command here. Okay, the command is executed. So let's see the user we are logged in as right now, and we will use the command whoami to see that. Okay, we are successfully logged in as root, or we have the root access to this vulnerable machine. Now let's find our finder flag, and most of the time these finder flags are in the root directory, so let's change our directory to root. Okay, let's see if the flag is here. ls, well, I don't see anything here. Maybe the file is hidden, so let's see if the file is hidden. And yes, I see our root flag here, root.txt, which is a hidden file. Now let's open it. cat.root.txt. Okay, we have successfully exploited this vulnerable machine, Moneybox 1. If you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back with more videos in the future. Thank you.